Hey, Mr. Mull. Always good to hear from you. Sorry it took me so long to take a look at this young man, but generally speaking, he looks pretty good. Somebody who knows what they're doing must be coaching him. First thing I see is he's pretty square out of the back. Um, and I think lots of times what happens at the front is a direct result of what happens at the back. So if I had him, he's pretty square. He's kind of sitting. That looks pretty good. Let's see. Yeah, this looks good. So my first concern is this foot here, this right foot. It's late. And I like to think of it as pushing off of the right foot, not dragging the right foot like, let's say, like a field goal kicker or whatever. Um, so I would like to have this foot like he would do 360 drills and push with his right side, not drag with his left arm and drag his right side behind. So I like to keep this relationship together between the hips. The hips and the shoulders are pretty square here for the most part right now. But what's going to happen is as we move along, he's going to get his right foot is going to stay on the ground. His left foot, that's good. We want to leave from somewhere around there. But you can see back here, his his right foot is not doing anything. It's just sitting there. So it's getting behind him. So he can't get um, off of the concrete, off of the pad as early. And I'll send you those articles I have. But I always like to think we're going to push from here, and then we're going to have a second push at the front, and we're going to push from here again, right along this line running up the middle of the circle. So we don't want to get too far off of that. Clear. So as we watch and we see his right foot start to fall behind, I like to think of another way of thinking of it is his toes should be pointing in this pretty much the same direction up until he gets about here. And we can see this foot's pointing here and this foot's pointing there. So he's opening with his lower body. We actually want to get that right leg ahead of the left as soon as possible. So we get to here, and by the time his left foot is where it's at, I would like his right foot to already be heading toward the middle of the circle down the line. But because it's late, you have to wait for it, wait for it, wait for it, still waiting for it to clear the left foot. Now he can do something with it. Um, Second note is he drops his left arm some, so he gets a little bit off balance that way. But that's not the primary thing here. But that left foot it's okay. But that right foot now has to go kind of this way. And that left foot is still on the ground. We like to have a non-support phase. We're going to the back to the middle where both of his feet are off the ground. And we consciously, it doesn't happen this way, but consciously like to think of it as I'm going to land at the front and both my feet are going to land at the same time. It's not quite that. The right foot will still land earlier, but we want to have both the feet off, landing and driving toward the middle. So you can just see this is, and he's not a huge guy. He's well built. He's not a huge guy. And I think he wants to be more athletic about it rather than staying so contacted to the ground. Actually, you can see when his left foot leaves the ground, it's turned past. It's rotated past like 90 degrees, and we'd like to get him off of that foot and be in the air with both of his feet at this juncture. Turn on the right foot. That's good. It looks like he's keeping his weight back on his right side. It's hard to tell from this angle, but I think that he is. He does keep his head centered throughout the throw, which is very good. He never looks down his left arm, which is a bad habit to get. So that part is very good. We're going to turn, push. We could probably get a little more turn out of that right foot. You get that from doing non-reverses. Here, push. And looks like he does, okay, so he drives the ball kind of flat rather than lifting the ball. I think lots of times, like younger throwers, they want to throw it with their arm. And as you get more experience, you actually think of like you're squatting the ball and you're lifting, and your right hand, your arm is just an extension of it. But really, we're throwing it with the lower body, lifting the ball as a rotational thrower. Comes through. You can see he doesn't really, like the ball would, I'm not going to say disappear out of the frame, but would have a lot more lift on it. His finish is pretty balanced. He shouldn't have any problem saving a throw like that. Turn the foot, and otherwise it looks pretty good. Hopefully this makes sense, and if you have any other questions, just holler at me. Thanks.